The day the new girl hit the hallway floor, the sound was louder than the lockers slamming shut around her, a sharp crack that echoed through North Ridge High School in a small Ohio town where people believed nothing ever really changed, and in that frozen second before the teachers noticed and the bell rang, everyone saw what power looked like when it thought it would never be challenged. If you believe in kindness, in second chances, and in the quiet strength of people the world underestimates, take a moment right now to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel, because stories like this remind us why compassion still matters. Her name was Hannah Mercer, and she arrived mid-semester with a second-hand backpack, a guarded expression, and a posture shaped by years of learning how to disappear. She had come from Arizona after her father's death, moving into her aunt's small house on the edge of town, and from the first step she took into that school, eyes measured her worth by the brand of her shoes and the silence she carried with her. The bullies noticed her immediately, led by a trio who had ruled the hallways for years, boys with loud laughter and reputations built on breaking others before anyone could break them. They shoved her books on purpose, whispered cruel guesses about her past, and when she kept walking with her head down, they decided to make a public example of her, because bullies mistake restraint for weakness every single time. The push that knocked her down came near the trophy case, a careless, calculated move meant to draw laughs, and as Hannah hit the floor, her palms burned and her knees throbbed, but the deeper pain came from the familiar weight in her chest, the one that told her this was how it always started. Teachers intervened too late, issuing warnings that meant nothing, and the rest of the day passed in fragments of stares and smirks, while Hannah sat through classes barely hearing the lessons, her mind drifting back to a dusty gym in Phoenix where her father once watched her train with quiet pride. He had been a former Marine, a man who believed discipline was a kind of love, and before illness took him, he made sure she learned how to defend herself, not just with her body, but with patience, control, and timing. At home that evening, Hannah cleaned the scrapes on her knees and stared at herself in the mirror, seeing the same girl who had promised her father she would never let cruelty decide who she became. She remembered the countless early mornings, the sweat-soaked mats, the bruises that taught her endurance, and the lessons drilled into her muscle memory until they felt like instinct. She also remembered being told that true strength was knowing when to stand down and when to stand firm, and that revenge was never the goal, only survival with dignity. So the next morning, she returned to school not with fire in her eyes, but with calm, the kind that unsettles people who thrive on chaos. The bullying escalated, as it often does when targets refuse to break. Notes appeared on her desk, shoulders bumped into hers harder, and one afternoon in the gym locker room, the same group decided to corner her, believing privacy would protect them. What they did not know was that Hannah had spent years learning how to read a room, how to sense movement before it happened, and how to keep her breathing steady when fear tried to take over. When hands grabbed at her bag and someone laughed too close to her face, something shifted, not into rage, but into clarity, and in a controlled, precise sequence of movements that seemed almost unreal to the onlookers. Hannah defended herself with restraint, using just enough force to break free and leave them stunned on the floor, their confidence shattered in seconds. News traveled fast through North Ridge High School, but it changed shape as it moved, turning into rumors of a quiet girl who fought like a storm and never raised her voice. Administrators investigated, cameras were reviewed, and witnesses finally spoke up, tired of pretending they saw nothing. The bullies faced consequences for the first time, suspensions that stripped them of their social armor, while Hannah was cleared, her actions deemed self-defense. For the first time since arriving, she felt the hallways soften, eyes no longer sharp with judgment but curious, even respectful. Teachers offered smiles, students nodded in passing, and a few brave souls thanked her for doing what they never could. Yet the true change came from within her, a realization that she had never been powerless, only waiting for the right moment to remember who she was. She joined the wrestling team, surprising coaches with her discipline, and volunteered at a local community center teaching self-defense to younger kids, channeling her past into something that could protect others. The bullies avoided her, their reign reduced to whispers, and one of them even transferred schools, unable to bear the mirror her courage held up to their cruelty. Hannah never gloated, never boasted, because her victory was quieter than that, rooted in self-respect and the legacy of a father who taught her that strength meant leaving places better than you found them. If this story has moved you even a little, please pause for a moment and let us know in the comments how it made you feel, because your words help build a community where stories like Hannah's can inspire others. And now, as we near the end, if this journey touched your heart, if it reminded you of someone you know or a part of yourself you almost forgot, like, share, and comment to keep these stories alive, because every act of kindness, even online, creates a ripple. Hannah Mercer walked out of North Ridge High School on graduation day under a bright American sky, not as the new girl anymore, but as proof that bullies make their biggest mistake when they assume they know who they are messing with, and sometimes the strongest victories are the ones that begin on the floor and end with a person standing taller than ever before.